Hi, this is Cheryl for the Cut at Home design team. I'm so excited today to be doing our trend report for February, talking about what we find to be on trend, and that's burlap. Burlap continues on trend. It's been around for a little while, and I think it's going to stay. It's a wonderful, versatile fabric that we can use in so many ways to complement our paper crafting projects. This is a little card that I did featuring the burlap ribbon. It's also a little harder to see, but I've added a burlap texture to my cardstock here. To do that, I used an all-over background stamp by Just Right Stampers, and I apologize, I know the glare's going to come off on this a whole lot, but it's just a great piece of burlap that you can stamp onto any piece of cardstock to give it that burlap texture or that burlap look. It's very, very easy to do. These stamps always work wonderfully well when they've got the Just Right name on them. We know they make good quality stamps, and that red rubber just can't be beat. So what that did was change the color of my cardstock a little. You'll see a sheet of the old here next to the new. And so there were some changes in it. Again, it's toned down a little bit in color, and it's added the texture in the background there. So it was kind of a little bit of fun to do that. My intent in working this card was to also add an embossed finish of burlap using my burlap embossing folder. But unfortunately, my folder was nowhere to be found when it came time to do this card. I don't know where they go, but I think they're like those socks that are missing from the dryer. You never quite know where they are, but eventually they return home. In any event, this was an easy card to do. I cut my red background layer for A2 card, so it's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. My pattern paper, once I had stamped it with the burlap stamp, I let it dry for a second, and then I cut that to 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. I always stamp a paper size that's bigger than what I need, just in case there's an area that doesn't turn out quite so well. And when that happens, I can trim off that area and I can use only the good parts. So it's not a frequent occurrence with Just Right stamps because they're so well made, but again, just in case it happens to you, it's good to have a little bit more rather than a little bit less. From there, I cut this red sort of lacy oval here. It's called the Wonderful Locket. It's a Spellbinders die, and it's just a lot of fun to use. I found some Couture Creations small ovals, this ivory oval here that I cut that fit perfectly inside those lockets, and I added my little messenger boy. And then finally I added the words "love you" at the top with a little rhinestone. Now, I didn't have specific dies from Elizabeth Craft that said "love you," but I had "love" and "thinking of you," so I knew that I could make it work. I used the "love" from this set and the "you" from this set, and they match very, very nicely. I don't know if you can see very well from the dies at the back, but they're good matches together so that you can remember that you can pull words from different die sets together and make them work, make them say the thing that you want. My last step, of course, was adding the pretty burlap ribbon. It's got that nice lace edge that softens it and makes it feel just comfortable and pretty. Now, before I move on, I just want to show you a little secret with this. If you haven't discovered this, this is the economical way of getting the most of your cardstock. My red layer back here, I've cut out both the locket and the "love you" words. I had to put "thinking of you" in its entirety back here, and you'd never know it from the card front, right? So when I paste this on a card, it's good to go. Nobody's the wiser. So if you want to be, think about being a little more economical with your supplies by doing something like that. It works very, very well. You just have to be careful and stay away from the edges because you don't want to see cut marks in the edges of your work. Now let me show you more burlap projects. This is just a simple little burlap sack that's available almost anywhere. This is the bleached burlap as opposed to the natural color, but we see these a lot of different places. They're perfect for little treat bags or little gift bags, almost anything that you want to do with it. This is a project that I worked on last year and featured. It's using a product called a saggy baggie, but it perfectly holds a mason jar. That's made by Canvas Corp. So I added a few of the larger buttons at the top, and I made a flower, sunflower, using the Sizzix Susan's Garden dies and a distress technique. So again, that was a very, very fun project, and this project sits in my craft room and holds some of my supplies for me. So it's held up well, both the flower as well as the bag design and that sort of thing. It's, again, a favorite. I love the way burlap looks. Now my big project for today is kind of hard to see on the video. I'm going to slide it down so you can see it from start to finish. But this is my Be Mine banner. Pardon the sliding because I don't know how else to show it to you. It's a little bit on the long side. But again, it just says Be Mine, and it's got the flowers and bow and hearts at each end. So it's just a fun, cute little design made with some 5-inch wide burlap. And I added some, these are actually metal that has some embossing on it. They're very, very cool. Unfortunately, in my town, very, very difficult to find intact, so I had to be a little creative with some of my letters here. But again, a very fun banner, and it's so complemented by using the different textures and tools and the cardstocks and that sort of thing that we use in paper crafting. You can find burlap in so many forms, from the ribbons that you've seen me featured here. This is a 12 by 12 sheet that's ready to use in your scrapbook, or you could cut it to use it on smaller projects. There's just no end to the ways you can use burlap and things. So if you haven't been using burlap, maybe February is a good month to try it. I know that you'll have a great time with it. Ease into the process, maybe grab some ribbon, and then move forward with courage and grab some of the cut sheets and try and make a project using a sheet of burlap. I think you'll have a great time with it. It's never disappointed me. Again, the project to me always turns out beautifully, whether it's a more formal or prettier project, or whether it's a little bit more rugged or casual, or if you're working on guy projects, it's great for that. There's so many options here. Burlap is just a great fiber to work with. Thanks for watching. Bye.